A spooky Christmas Eve. It was a week before Christmas. 10-year-old Amy was very upset with her mother, Sarah. The reason? They had recently moved from New York to Chicago, leaving behind Amy's friends, school, and her beloved old home. Seeing her daughter's sadness, Sarah felt guilty. She thought, on Christmas Eve, I'll give Amy her favorite toy to cheer her up. On Christmas Eve, Sarah took Amy out in the car and they visited some of the best toy shops in the city. But at each shop, Amy just shook her head. Nothing seemed to excite her. Tired and disappointed, they were heading back home when Amy noticed a small, old toy shop on a corner and begged her mom to stop. Sarah found the shop odd. It had no signboard, and a faint yellow light flickered through the windows. But Amy insisted, and Sarah reluctantly agreed. As they opened the door, a wooden bell chimed softly. Inside, they were stunned. The shop was filled with the most extraordinary collection of toys they'd ever seen. Shiny figurines, wooden horses, beautiful dolls, and peculiar old board games lined the shelves. "Wow, this place feels magical," Amy exclaimed. Even Sarah felt like she had stepped into a fairy tale. But one thing bothered her. There were no other customers and no shopkeeper in sight. While Sarah was browsing through the toys, she realized Amy was no longer beside her. Panic struck. She began searching frantically throughout the store. "Amy, where are you?" Sarah called out. But there was no response. She rushed to the counter for help, but it was deserted. Suddenly, a deep, eerie laugh echoed from the back of the store. Sarah turned toward the sound. In a dimly lit corner, an old man dressed as Santa Claus was sitting in a chair. On his lap was Amy, smiling and talking to him. Sarah quickly approached the strange Santa. She saw him talking to Amy in a soft, yet unsettling voice. "Your mom brought you here, but she doesn't understand what your heart truly desires, does she?" Amy nodded. "Yes. Why did Mom bring me here? I wanted to stay with my friends." Sarah froze in shock. She glared at the Santa, whose grin was so unnerving that chills ran down her spine. "Your daughter loves this place," Santa said, staring directly at Sarah. "Why don't you leave her here with me?" Furious, Sarah yelled and pulled Amy off Santa's lap. "We're leaving, right now." As Sarah and Amy rushed out of the store, Santa's laughter echoed behind them. Sarah turned back for a moment, and what she saw terrified her. Santa's eyes glowed red, and his face began to change, becoming more monstrous. In an instant, he vanished into the darkness. That night, neither Sarah nor Amy could sleep. But the real terror began when Sarah heard Amy laughing softly in the middle of the night. "Amy?" Sarah called out hesitantly. But Amy was sound asleep in her bed. Then, faintly, Sarah heard the same tune that had played in the toy shop. Frightened, Sarah switched on the lights and held Amy close. The next morning, she packed their belongings and decided to move out of the house. Sarah and Amy never spoke of that shop again. But Sarah could never forget the face of that sinister Santa. Even now, when Sarah sits alone at night, she sometimes feels like she can hear that dreadful laugh echoing once more. If you enjoyed our content, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, hit the bell icon to stay updated, and like the video. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so drop a comment below. Thank you for watching, and we'll be back soon with another thrilling story. Take care, and goodbye.